We get a lot of storminess, and because of storms last night, I took this with my cell phone coming into the station this morning. Beautiful shot of some alto cumulus and alto stratus clouds. You can learn something from this because if you're learning your cloud types, these are not low clouds because we can still see the blue sky, but rather they are mid-layer clouds, and because of the bubbly nature, the cotton ball nature, that's the alto cumulus part, where it's more of a just stratiform nature to this. That's the alto stratus part. And of course, if you're into music and you sing alto, you're singing the mid part. So that's where the alto comes from. And you can see the sun behind some of those alto stratus clouds. Those are basically debris clouds left over from last night after the storms dissipate. We still have the clouds that have to kind of scour themselves out but redevelop later on today. And a warm and humid air mass, heavy storms, the biggest potential today. We're going to see storms about every day this week, but the nature of those storms will be changing. Today's biggest threat will be heavy rain and flash flooding in local areas where the storms develop. And then the heat builds back in Thursday through Sunday, maybe a soaker of a rain by Monday. That could be a cooler rain across the area. All right, temperatures yesterday up to 86 in Roanoke. That's after a morning low of 59. And we continue looking at the rainfall that we need across the area for the month. Roanoke is about 2.38 inches below normal for the year, about 1.79 inches below normal. Look at Danville, over 7 inches below normal for the year. Most areas otherwise, Blacksburg and the Lynchburg, again, between 1 and maybe 3 inches below normal for both the month and the year. So hopefully we don't get all that rain at one time, but that's the nature of sometimes when we get these thunderstorms. Okay, we've got graduation at Franklin County High School and maybe some other schools across the area for Saturday. Here is my forecast. Morning temperatures around 70, but they'll quickly be rising into the mid and upper 70s, and it will be muggy out there. Some morning dew and fog, as we usually see, burning off for some sunshine. Should be a mostly sunny afternoon. We'll watch for the chance of a pop-up thunderstorm. Hopefully that's after the graduation ceremony. Temperatures 87 to perhaps near 90 in some parts of the area, depending on how much sunshine we see. Speaking of sunshine, the sun's been up today since 6:03. It'll be sitting at 8:31. Those days continue getting longer as we approach the summer solstice. Few dying showers on our local radar across parts of West Virginia, but some more storms already trying to get going here, or at least some showers on the bigger picture. We still await what's going to happen later this afternoon with this plume of moisture associated with a very active jet stream. Virginia's right here. Here's Texas, by the way, and we're still watching this moisture that'll bring us the scattered storms today, and then it just fizzles out basically for Thursday and Friday. Speaking of Houston, well, they're not getting a break either, and they're seeing copious amounts of rain, historic and deadly flooding. You've been hearing about that. This is the Doppler radar estimate showing over a foot of rain yesterday. This is this morning. This is right now, round number 2. Are you kidding me? I looked at that, I couldn't believe it. This is in motion. Once again, these storms are kind of trading over the same areas. Those poor folks may get several more inches of rain on top of what they've already had. Back here at home, quieter, but still some heavier storms on and off today. High temperatures are going to be in the low 80s across the area, across Franklin County. Bigger picture on the radar again is fairly active, and we'll keep it that way. Our jet stream forecast shows the pattern breaking down somewhat. We've had so much active dips across the west, finally moving east, so that this is right now Wednesday. We've got a bit of a jet streak, which will help develop storms across the area today. But then by Thursday, the nature of the thunderstorms will change because the winds will relax in the upper levels, and that's going to mean a big concern for potential for some wind damage in some of these storms Thursday and the Friday. Okay, so later into the week, chances for some soaking rains as a more significant front moves into this heat. This is the Euro model for Sunday, And we had this on last night as well, showing a front with several lows riding along it. That would be a slow-moving front that could produce some beneficial moisture and more in the way of a general rain rather than this hit or miss stuff. This is the GFS showing much the same. You can see the cooler air up to the north. This could look for a moment last night like it may come in from the northeast, kind of backdoor style, but today it's looking more like it's just going to settle in from the north and bring us a lot of rain and thunderstorms towards Sunday afternoon going into Monday. So an unsettled forecast, yeah, it remains. Okay, so tonight, still unsettled. 65 degrees, evening storms possible. Big game tonight, very important. The Franklin County Eagles entering tournament play. If they win, I believe they go on to start off the regionals, I believe. So they've had a perfect 12-0 Piedmont season. We've got that article up on our website. 65 tonight, so very muggy out there watching those storms. And then as we go into the weekend, into the rest of this week, we are looking at humid conditions to continue. Thursday, 85. Afternoon storms about each and every day. Now, Thursday into Friday, watching the potential, even though the rain chances lower, do not let that fool you, because what will happen is the low-level humidity remains in place, but aloft over our heads, about once you go to about 3,000 or 4,000 feet up in the air and above, the air gets bone dry during those 2 days. And what that does is when a storm forms into that, the raindrops will evaporate. The dry air is already heavier than the moist air, believe it or not. I explained this all on our blog on our webpage as well. And that makes the air very buoyant, and that makes that heavier air that's suspended want to fall down to the ground. Plus, there's going to be very little wind in the jet stream to organize any type of shear or get these storms moving, which means that they'll be, it seems like good news, but they'll pop up as single cell storms and then collapse. And when that happens, all that colder air that'll be caused by the evaporation that makes the air very heavy, and that dry air, which is heavy, that's when you get microburst activity. So I'm watching that very carefully Thursday and for Friday. That's why I spent a little more time talking to you about it this morning. Okay, 90 degrees for graduation day, and then by Sunday, a good chance of seeing those scattered showers and more heavier storms Sunday into Monday. So all of a sudden, things are heating up out there in terms of rainfall and moisture. That's all for right now. We'll be back live for you on Monday morning. In the meantime, I'm meteorologist Jamie Singleton. More on the web, more on Facebook as well as our weather heats up.